Okay. Yep. Sorry about that, guys. I'm getting it together. I'm getting it together. One of these days we'll have a semi-professional looking stream. That day is not today. All right. Boom, 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 boom. I'm just curious. Well, y'all, nobody's in here. Let's just see what everything looks like, man. Let's see what it all looks like. All right. So, yep, yep, yep. We're gonna get to it in just a second here. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Everything's all good. Sound. You can see me. All of that. Oh, I think my dog is snoring again. Okay, my dog. Ooh, okay, all right. So here we go. Everything looks good here. I'm gonna jump into what we got. Don't forget, yeah, you can buy me a coffee. I don't have any, super chats or any of that kind of stuff set up. So if you want to buy me a coffee, this is where you do that at. Right here. Oh shit, I'm in the way. That sucks. Anyway, buymeacoffee.com, cracker stacks, two X's, because I'm so MySpace era. All right. So anyway, I'll go back here. You guys probably saw this. I've been noticing this more and more. These these fucking delivery drivers, man, on these mopeds. And look at this. Look, I got nothing against delivery drivers. I am one. I do it too, right? It's good. It's good side incomes. If you're any good at it, you can make a pretty decent paycheck out of it. But guys like these come in. I, I was in the store with him. I'm pretty sure he's an illegal. He didn't seem to speak any English. He's got totes and buckets and bags and all kind of crap strapped to this moped, and it's third world shit, man. You didn't used to see this in America, not like this. You didn't see. I mean, this delivery driver on a moped scooter deal. That's a pretty third world uh, thing. There. It just, I don't know what what makes it that way. I guess it's the cost of everything being so high. Too many damn people competing for the same jobs. Um, so you get these low skill jobs taken up by people like this who probably can't afford a car. This may not even be his moped. It might be stolen. I know, obviously that's pretty rampant in New York, but here in Florida, I don't know. So anyway, I think you guys saw the topic. If I can even remember what it is, we saw that Rubio yanked a bunch of. Let's just go look at that real quick. Rubio yanked a bunch of student visas, I guess. Rubio visas. Huh, so that's interesting. Wow, that like really picked up, didn't it? So it says that he yanked them for, due to assault, burglary, and support for terrorism. I want to know what that means. Support for terrorism. Because it wasn't that long ago where they were saying that I was the terrorist, and me saying it's okay or white lives matter, that was terrorism. So I don't know, but I don't think that's what this is this time. Just because we have, I guess, a conservative whatever. I don't even know what to call it anymore. It's all the same crap, man. But this looks like a good start. And I say that because I feel like as far as deportations and all that stuff go, we're still at the start. I don't know what the deportation numbers are, but they're not much. Let's check them out. See what I can do here. But anyway, let's look at this first real quick just to see what it says here. So Rubio, State Department yanks more than 6,000 student visas due to assault, burglary, and support for terrorism. They got a video, so we'll check this out, I guess. No, we won't.
Rubio's State Department yanks more than 6K student visas due to assault, burglary, support for terrorism. Exclusive. The State Department has yanked more than 6,000 student visas in 2025 for overstays and law violations, including support for terrorism, Fox News Digital has learned. The Trump administration has launched multiple initiatives aimed at cracking down on immigration and revoking visas of those attending academic institutions in the U.S. Those who've publicly protested supporting Palestine have faced heightened scrutiny, as one example. And Secretary of State Marco Rubio said in May that the administration was reviewing the visa status of students who participated in pro-Palestine protests. The roughly 6,000 visas that were pulled primarily were due to visa overstays or encounters with the law, including assault, DUIs, burglary, and support for terrorism, the State Department told Fox News Digital. Every single student visa revoked under the Trump administration has happened because the individual has either broken the law or expressed support for terrorism.
Okay, yeah, we get that.
As well. So you got all these people.
Let's see what Rubio has to say.
Different activities for Americans, but they're going on these college campuses and they're protesting.
It says 300.
We see linkages to Hamas. We see linkages to other foreign governments as well. Marco Rubio.
Linkages, huh? Well, we're not under the hood of the Monte Carlo, brother. It's just a link. I'm gonna look like a fool if he's right.
Rubio has made the commitment.
We got linkages.
He's going to revoke their visa. He said that he's already revoked 300 plus visas. Here's the Secretary of State.
Secretary of State.
We do it every day. Every time I find one of these lunatics, I take away their visa.
You're saying it could be more than 300
sure,
visas?
I hope. At some point, I hope we run out because we've gotten rid of all of them. But we're looking every day for these lunatics.
Right. And so everyone thinks Mahmoud Khalil. But when Mahmoud Khalil was tossed, the word came out to these Palestinian organizations linked to Hamas or not, that the Americans are not going to tolerate the campus unrest, the takeover of buildings, what we saw at almost every Ivy League institution outside Princeton. Well, I didn't really see much there. Now, not only is...
Here's my problem with all this, right? First of all, we're watching Fox News together, and that's pretty damn cringy. I just realized that. Oh, here's this Julian Michaels thing. This is really cool. We gotta... that's not the one. Anyway, we gotta watch that whole Julian Michaels thing. If you haven't seen it, she goes off. She doesn't go off, but she speaks a little bit too much truth for the panel she's on. God forbid somebody who doesn't want to blame white people for everything. The problem I have with what they're saying here, and Rubio said something interesting here. He said, I hope we get them all. What does that mean? Like, I mean, I know this is a pipe dream, but there's no way he's literally saying we're going to get, all these student visas out of here. Excuse me. Right. There's just no way. Maybe. Oh, you know what? So, but yeah, the problem I have with this is that, I feel like all this has come up since this whole fucking Israel thing. And look, I don't understand the Israel thing. I really don't. Everybody seems to hate them now. I have my problems. I'm not going to act like I don't. I'm with you guys on a lot of that stuff, but I don't understand the nonstop, hatred for Jewish people. Like, we can't not everything is their fault. So I don't get it, man. But it seems like all this has come up since that's been this new Israel phenomenon that's going on. And it's going on right and left. So, they start kicking out, terrorist supporters and stuff like that because they're, supporting Hamas, which I don't support Hamas in any way, shape, or form whatsoever. But they didn't have a problem with all these protests and much more than that when it was against white people, right? But now that it's against Jewish people or Israeli people or whatever you want to call them, now we're making laws, a lot of them. Now we're passing laws. Now we want to put a stop to this mess on the campuses, right? Or whatever he said. We're tired of all this going on college campuses. I mean, a lot of us were tired of it 8 years ago, and nobody seemed to care then when it was just massive numbers. Not massive numbers, but there was a lot of incidents and a lot of people that were wildly against the idea of white people and white culture and the idea that a white person should be able to walk around in this country without being full of shame or suicidal empathy. That was a problem, right? So if you didn't do that, that was a problem. I mean, think about we've all seen the, where that, I think it was just a lady or maybe it was a couple. They were, eating lunch on this patio outside and, you got a group of 2 dozen protesters basically screaming at them to get them to capitulate to what they were saying, which was white silence is violence or some BS like that. So that was the mood in the country at the time. And a lot of that was coming from college campuses. In fact, most of it, I think, was a good chunk of it for sure. But there were no laws passed then. There was no Marco Rubio wasn't getting up and talking about we want to put an end to this madness on college campuses. But now all of a sudden it's crossed the line. So I don't get that. And some people will say, and I don't know that I disagree with them. They'll say, "Oh, it's the Jews," right? But it looked to me like it was Marco Rubio, right? And I know he's complicit, right? But my point is that it's not just these people or those people, man. It's our people too. I mean, liberal white women, they want us dead. They want people like me dead. And they're proud to say it. They have no shame about that. So, I don't know. It bothers me. It really does. So, all right, let's go. What else are we talking about? Oh, yeah, the Zelensky thing. So we can finish this, I guess, if you guys want to.
The campus is going to lose, the college is going to lose money, but they're going to lose people. Now, yesterday, we found out that we had one person self-deport from Colombia after Khalil was tossed out. And she sat down in Canada with Al Jazeera to talk about what she thought, why she left.
Oh, what a great home for her. What did she say, Rachel?
She said the moment Mahmoud got arrested, it sent shockwaves across Colombia's community. He is a green card holder. That's when I realized I have no rights in this system at all. It was only a matter of time before they caught hold of me.
Exactly.
Rachel, this has inspired some disagreement between us. We normally agree on 90% of the issues, but you're worried about free speech.
I'm not. So first of all, I would never be a student in, say, Mexico City and go and protest their government. I'm just not interested. I think that's just rude, and you're not being a good guest, so I'm with that. I also don't believe in violence. You know, I'm a peacenik. Yeah. I don't think we should have violence, and I don't believe in terrorists. I don't want anyone here who has ties to Hamas. That said, I am concerned about free speech. I am a free speech absolutist. And so I wonder, what is the criteria here? Should we be deporting people who say criticize America and American policies? What's the line? Or is it only if you criticize Israeli government policy? So there are a lot of really good people right now who are very concerned about the chilling effect this could have, not just on these green card holders and these people on visas.
All right, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit.
But what's the message to American citizens about free speech?
I wouldn't worry about American citizens. I mean, it's not American citizens. These are people on student visas. In green cards.
No, I'm just saying the chilling effect. If you're seeing people,
I don't care. I mean,
are they connected to Hamas or are they just criticizing Israeli policy?
The lawyer I talked to this week, who's representing 9 families, says there's direct linkages to Hamas that they posted this group October 6th. Get ready for October 7th. So there's no doubt about it. There's organizations here. There's also the hostages were saying that the Hamas hostage holders were bragging to them about their access to American students, the students in America, and that they were going to win the power of basically the publicity and marketing. They also tossed out somebody in Tufts University, caught this PhD student. They also threw out yesterday at Harvard. They threw out Kasina Petrova, who's a Russian research associate, also with anti-American activity. You're over here, you're protesting this country and our allies. Goodbye.
I would just say this, Rachel. I see your point. I see how it could be chilling. But I want chills to run down the spines of not only terrorists, but people that are residents here. You're a visitor here.
I mean, I don't, this is where I don't get it. Protesting our allies. Like, okay, I understand that on the surface, I understand and saying, hey, we don't like this, but... And I guess, the more deportations, the better. So, yeah, I guess I don't really have a problem with this. The grounds, they're protesting our allies. Like, I don't really give a shit about that. I just want them gone. If you don't live here and got a couple generations here, get the fuck out. And then some.
I agree with that.
We have the American citizens that are degenerates. We have to deal with them. That is a part of our society. We don't have to deal with the visitors that are here. And I think that's what the Secretary of State is.
When I was a child and a military brat growing up, I lived overseas almost exclusively. And when we went to I attended Department of Defense schools, and we had to take a class called host nation class, where we learned about the host nation and we learned how to be a proper guest in people's country. That is my primary concern with this. And the other concern I have is the thing you touched on, but which needs more attention to, which is the fact that our universities are prioritizing foreign students because they pay full rate tuition. And a lot of these slots belong to American kids. How many valedictorians aren't getting into these elite schools?
All of them.
Because
if they're white.
If they're white males. This is something America is for Americans.
That's right.
And we need to prioritize.
Wait a minute. Am I hearing pro-white messaging from Fox News?
Prioritize that. So I think there's a lot to be said.
Yeah.
But
all of them.
Because full rate tuition. And a lot of these slots belong to American kids. How many valedictorians aren't getting into these elite schools?
All of them.
Because
if they're white.
If they're white males. This is something America is for Americans.
That's right.
And we need to prioritize that. So I think there's a lot to be said.
Yeah.
But let's also be careful, because we don't want to leave the impression on the world that we are not for free speech.
But I do want the impression of the world that you're going to come over here and create havoc.
Very interesting stuff here from Fox News. That's a first for me. I have not heard.
When it comes to travel, where to is where it all starts. From getting.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I haven't heard anything like that from Fox News before, man. They've always been kind of. Oh wow! I just hit the wrong button there. They've always been basically, just a slightly less left-leaning version of the other news. So that's interesting. I will say that. I do want to show you guys this Jillian Michaels thing if you haven't seen it. Um, was this Fox News too? Oh yeah, that's right. This was CNN. Okay, hold on. CNN can't let
The Smithsonian to teach in terms of American
turn it down a little bit. Hopefully, all the sound levels and everything are working out.
history, things that don't offend parts of the MAGA base, right? So we're now literally, it's gone into the Smithsonian.
These people think so binary too. You're either a Democrat or you're MAGA. There's nothing else to them. To most people, I guess. Even to me, sometimes I think that way when I'm talking.
Smithsonian. He's effectively now has some random person deciding what is appropriate for the Smithsonian to teach in terms of American history, things that don't offend parts of the MAGA base, right? So we're now literally reviewing parts of American history and parts of American culture to
Look
make
at
sure it
Jillian
comports
Michaels.
with dear leader and what the MAGA
Can we
organization
address
wants.
some of those things that are in there? Because have you looked at some of the things that are being reviewed?
Yeah, slavery was a bad thing that we should talk about.
Okay,
like
he's not whitewashing slavery. So
he's not.
He's not. No.
Okay.
He's not.
Oh yeah, what a great point this woman on the left has made. This is groundbreaking stuff. I don't know if you guys are paying attention here. What she just said was that slavery was bad. So, think about that for a little. Really dig in on what she's saying. Read between the lines here of slavery. Of course, slavery is bad. You dumb bitch. I'm so tired of this. Like they say that she's saying that too in a condescending way, as if to suggest that Jillian Michaels and pretty much everybody else on planet Earth, except for I guess the people who currently have slaves right now, the Uyghurs and all that. Yeah, everybody thinks that, but she wants the audience, the people watching, the viewers, to assume, or she knows, because nobody's really that dumb to think that, but she wants to plant that little bit of seed of like, okay, maybe this lady, she doesn't really think slavery was that bad or whatever the fuck it is. You know what I'm trying to say here.
And you cannot tie imperialism and racism and slavery to just one race, which is pretty much what every single exhibit does. But let's talk about the fact that when you look at slavery, let's talk about the fact.
I mean, slavery in America was.
Do you realize that only less than 2% of white Americans owned slaves?
But it was a system of white supremacy.
You realize that slavery is thousands of years old?
White people were.
Do you know who was the first race?
I didn't realize this was controversial.
Thousands of years old.
White people were.
Do you know who was the first race to try to end slavery? Well, what's controversial?
I'm very surprised.
This is an extraordinary exercise in historical revisionism.
I'm really surprised.
Do you realize that,
Jillian? I'm surprised that you're trying to litigate who. Was the beneficiary of slavery and
I'm
who
not.
was not.
What I'm trying to tell you is
in
that
the context of American history.
Okay.
In the context of American history, what are you saying is incorrect by saying that it was white people oppressing black people?
Every single thing is like, oh, no, this is all because white people bad. And that's just not the truth. Like, for example, every single exhibit, I have a list of every single one. Like, people migrated from Cuba because white people bad. Not because of Castro. Yes, no, it's in there. That's what I'm saying. You don't actually know what's in there. Do you know that when you walk in the front door,
what exactly,
the first thing you see is the gay flag?
Jillian, you have a lot of stuff in front
Yeah,
of you.
I do,
what
because
exactly
I don't, because here's the thing.
Are you talking about?
Okay, I'll give you an example.
Yeah, please.
There's one called Change Your Game, right? This has been an installation there. Is gender testing fair in sports? Does that, and then it goes on to talk about how it's complex to do gender testing in sports. It's not complex. It's basic science. That's untrue. It's XX chromosome, XY chromosome. That's sports. Is it fair to have biological men competing against biological women in sports? No. But why is this in the Smithsonian?
I don't know why she went down that road. It's really got nothing to do with what she was just saying. Other than, most of that is done because, I mean, sure, I agree with her. This is the trans thing and the men in sports and female sports and all that crap. It is anti-white at the end of the day. If you boil it all the way down to its roots, a lot of these trans kids and they're looking for something to be other than a white person because they've been told that that's horrible. So they want to cut their tits off and everything else to try to escape that for some fucking reason. Obviously it's the propaganda they've been fed. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, but she's not making a very good point of that. And it would be kind of nuts to try to explain that to somebody because you'd look like a fucking Looney Tunes conspiracy theorist trying to relate those two together. But they are loosely related.
So it's been completely captured.
First of all, I don't.
And it's totally partisan.
We don't. First of all, we don't have time to litigate
of
all of this.
Of course we don't, because then you're going to lose the argument. If everything is racialized, just like you're trying to do to me now.
She's
right.
Like,
I can't believe you're trying to suggest, that slavery
just to be
is a good
clear,
thing.
You brought up race.
No,
this was a conversation about the arts, and you brought up race.
It isn't.
You brought up.
But the whole point of this is that the issue
you brought up slavery, and you brought up the question of whether you brought up the question of whether or not slavery in the United States is about race. The answer is yes.
Slavery
in the United States is
it wasn't about race.
That's not what I said.
So what are you
brought
talking
up
about?
Slavery, and what I was talking about is that this isn't really about that. When you make every single exhibit about white imperialism when it isn't relevant at all, that is a problem. So when you're talking about Cubans leaving Cuba and you make it about white people bad, that's not accurate.
Can I just say something?
That's my point.
All right, we're going to move on.
I was saying on the arts thing, I think why this is.
She's correct about that. We all know it. These people on this news panel know it too. This asshole right here is afraid to speak up, I guess. I don't know what his problem is. She makes money by pretending what Jillian Michaels is saying is not true, and in fact that it's the opposite, and it has been since the dawn of time, I guess. And only white people have participated in that.
It's gone into
the whole time. Most of the other people at that table are there are doing the same thing that she's doing. They're protecting their paycheck. Even though the culture is starting to shift a little bit, I mean, we've just seen 2 instances of that we would have not seen ever before, really. Not in my lifetime, anyway. But these people have a vested interest in keeping that narrative out of their narrative. Those facts out of their narrative. Because once that happens, once people start to realize, oh, this is actually not the case of what slavery was, and all the truths that come along with all that shit, these 2 people will be out of a job. If that ever comes to light, these 2 people will be out of a job, and they're damn close to that happening already.
Smithsonian.
All right, so anyway, God, I hope y'all can't hear my dog that well, because he is cutting some logs over here. He sounds like a fucking furry little chainsaw. Oh, shut up. I'm working on that, guys. The constant throat clearing is embarrassing. All right, so what else do we have here? I don't really care to talk about the Trump-Zelensky thing. I guess Zelensky wore another fucking t-shirt to their meeting. I guess they're having a meeting about it had never been war that. Hold up. Okay, I don't know what that is. Oh, that's old. No wonder. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't paid much attention to this. I just kind of saw briefly that Zelensky showed up to their meeting or something in a t-shirt again, which at this point is a clear sign of disrespect, but whatever. You know, have your meeting. Let's resolve this thing. And then when it's all said and done, take him out behind the gardening shed in the backyard or whatever at the White House and beat his ass into the ground for it. But let's get this thing resolved if that's what's going on here. It doesn't really seem like it. I don't see too many. I don't see a whole lot happening on this front. So yeah, I should have had a source or something for you guys. Maybe I do. Hold on. Let's see here. Can I go here? I think I did pull something up earlier. Yuma, hush. Good Lord, dog. So, all right. Anyway, yeah, it doesn't look like a whole lot's going on there. Oh, now I'm seeing this, so I don't know. This is 4 hours ago, I guess.
Best I have. Ready, face. We love them. We love them. Thank you very much, everybody.
Look how big Trump is compared to him. That dog's going off out here now. Yeah, I mean, that's not really a suit, but whatever. It's better than, at least it's something, man. Trump liked it, complimented him on it. Probably a little bit of a backhanded thing there, knowing Trump. But whatever. Let's move on. Zelensky tried a little bit. Trump tried a little bit. That's how shit gets done, man. These damn JD Vance memes are so funny. All right. What else we got? Yeah, ICE deportations are not. That's the other thing I wanted to talk about. You've got this damn stupid ass tow truck driver, right? That I'll show you here.
Fuck you, now! Fuck you!
Wait, can you guys see that? Okay, yeah. All right, cool. So these these ICE guys, they show up to deport somebody.
Fuck you, now! Fuck you! Hey!
Tow truck driver snatches their shit up instantly.
Fuck you!
This is so retarded. These fucking people, man. That tow truck driver, first of all, you can't do that. You're not allowed to target people. You can't just sit there in no parking zones or wherever. You can't even do that, much less target people. You can't just, like, say somebody's constantly parking illegally everywhere they go, you can't just follow that person and tow their car. I mean, you probably could get away with something like that. But when you're clearly targeting like an organization of some kind, especially when that organization is the federal government, which is acting on behalf of we the people, yeah, you can't do that. So what? I don't know where. Okay, this is in LA. I don't know, but I know I've heard of tow truck companies going out of business for doing dumb shit like this before. Much less than this, right? Um, you can read about it. Uh, I think it was Jacksonville. So they were doing some other shit too. Um, but yeah, they were, they were targeting people and stuff like that, and sitting in no parking zones and just snatching cars up instantly. So anyway, so I mean, yeah. So the tow truck driver, he could be facing charges because that's clearly an emergency vehicle. He's just pulling out of there, right? The flashing lights and everything else. What bothers me more than that is that, I mean, he had to have just ramped up there instantly, dude. You see the lights flashing on the vehicle he's taken away. So he knows it. It's not like this idiot can claim to say, "Oh, I didn't realize." I mean, the lights are flashing all over this thing. This guy tries to stop him. I don't know why this guy is so fat. I don't know why this guy is not white, but that's where we're at. So yeah, he looks like an idiot. Fucking Oompa Loompa out there trying to chase his truck down. Why is this guy not running? So yeah, clearly more lefty BS. That tow truck driver should be out of a job, and the owner of that company should be pleading with the state right now to keep his company. I doubt that's happening because it's California, but big talker over there. You see this? He's talking about he's going to be there. Y'all ain't LAPD. I'll beat y'all's ass. And all this dude right here in the black suit, I guess. He needs to go with them, man. You need to go with them. Deport all these motherfuckers. If you don't like it here, I don't care if you're a citizen or not. I don't care if you're here legally. I don't care if you're here illegally. If you don't like America and what the original founding fathers wanted here, which was very different than what we're seeing in the world today, we want to get back to white culture in this country. We want to get back to I know a lot of people don't agree with this, but we want to get back to a Christian culture. We want to go back to when we could leave our doors unlocked. We want to go back to when our neighbors cared about their neighborhood and their neighbors. We want to go back to living around people who love to be here. So I don't care if you're legal, illegal. If you don't like this country, man, you got to go. Get the fuck out. Or shut up. I mean, look what's going on in UK right now. People are done, man. Unfortunately, we don't see that kind of resolve here in America yet. But if things don't improve, we might. I just want to see the rest of this. I haven't actually seen all of this. My dog is killing it, man. And people, you know, I know people talk about the optics of this all the time. I don't care anymore. I don't care. I'm done. I'm done worrying about the optics of everything and what they're going to think of us. And oh, this might look racist. I don't care anymore. We got to clean this place up, man. On that note, probably going to jump off here. I'm going to try to be doing a lot more streams. I'm trying to figure out a good schedule. What I'd like to do is like maybe the mornings and then again around 3, but I just don't know. I don't know. So anyway, this was kind of a thrown together stream. I just real quick wanted to jump on here because I had a little bit of time. I wanted to, check all my settings and, make sure everything still worked like I had set it up. So anyway, I do have a lot of topics that I want to discuss. Oh yeah, there was a Vin Wiki episode. You know what? Let me see something. I really wanted to get to that and I forgot about it. But we might have to do that later, guys. I like streaming at night. That's when I'm more me. But I don't know. It's when I'm the busiest. Anyway, we'll watch a little bit of this real quick, and then I probably gotta go. I think I'm gonna try to do a stream in the morning. I'm either gonna do one tonight or in the morning. It's probably gonna be in the morning. Damn, my lips are like. Is this it? Okay. Boom, boom. Okay, here we go. So this
AI creation platform.
There were people in the Tennessee legal system that absolutely.
So if you're into cars at all and you haven't heard of this channel, Vin Wiki, awesome channel. If you're into cars and stuff like that, it's it's just all these guys that are people who own exotic car dealerships or people who rebuild cars, people who've raced cars. They come on here and they share stories about the craziest things that happen buying it, or just it's car stuff. So this is just one example of the stuff that's on this channel. So listen to what this guy says here.
There were people in the Tennessee legal system that absolutely hated my Ben Wiki episode, and they made that very known. So some of you may have seen, so it's probably about a year ago now, there were videos on VinWiki where I talked about my court case with the state of Tennessee. Unfortunately, I was arrested and I was put into jail. I got 5 counts of inciting a riot, and that was for car meets that I used to put on. And they were all just supposed to be, park and chill, very strict, no burnouts, no donuts, no, excessive revving, whatever, like very strict rules on every flyer I ever posted, whatever. And then Takeover Kids showed up. And they kind of ruined every single event, and it ended up just being an absolute nightmare every single time. They kind of ruined I ever posted, whatever. And then Takeover Kids showed up, and they kind of ruined every single event, and it ended up just being
Takeover. So once again, and I don't know, let me see if you can see this here. If you can see the title, no, you probably can't. So it's called, you guys probably couldn't see it a second ago either when I was talking about it. So VinWiki is the channel, and this video is 5 years in prison for hosting car meets. Seems excessive, right? Well, you just heard what happened. So he was hosting these car meetups, like a normal car meetup that you probably went to before. People checking out your car. Sure, there's probably some racing involved here and there, especially if it's on the weekend at night and stuff like that. I mean, obviously, there's going to be street racing. But to be honest, I've been to a lot of car meets, and most of them are pretty chill. Even the ones where racing is the goal, it's handled pretty well, or at least it used to be. But like this guy just said,
an absolute up, and they kind of ruined I ever posted, whatever. And then Takeover Kids showed up.
And then the takeover kids showed up, and they turned a normal gathering of like-minded people who want to talk about their cars, have a good evening, just chilling out around like-minded people, is ruined by takeover kids. So this is just another example of an area where we've lost a big part of our culture due to a bunch of shitheads that really shouldn't even be here anyway. We're talking about a small segment of the population that is wreaking havoc over our whole culture and changing what we do, the things that we want to do, the things that we are allowed to do, even if we don't get involved with their shit, even if we try to take it away from them, get away, they follow, and it's just this plague that follows us everywhere we go. Eventually, I mean, we already damn near don't have car meets, and that was before takeover things got popular, right? So this is just another example of them costing us our culture. So remember that, man. We got to do something about that. And a lot of these takeover kids ain't illegals. So when we're talking about deportation numbers and all that stuff, remember, we still have homegrown problems here that got to be dealt with. All right. On that note, I'm going to get out of here. I will probably stream again in the morning. Definitely tomorrow. And I have a few topics. It'll be a much better structure. It won't be so all over the place. But yeah, until then, I'll see you guys later. And one more thing, because my name, I get asked this sometimes. The Crackers tax, right? Is it Crackers tax or is it the Crackers tax? Like we just paid for our car meets. All right, guys.